All right, well, this is a little weird. Republicans saying that the president can delay the employer mandate on health care because it's the law. Never mind, it is the same law that they oppose. They say the president can't willy-nilly change it because it's sinking. So is there a method to their madness? Jedediah, Bila, and Roginsky and Scottie Hughes. Scottie, are Republicans trying to have it both ways here, or is there some wisdom in it? It is the law, and the law states that you just don't go changing the law. What do you make of it?
Well, let's just face it. Ultimately, we wish Obamacare would be completely repealed. But in the face of that, we'll take what we can get. And right now, Obama is having to admit that his system is not going to work. And even if it's just for small businesses, the more time that we can buy, the more apparent it's going to be that this system is completely false. Even today, Neil, they came out with the fact that smokers who were originally going to be penalized, they can't even figure out how to penalize them. So therefore, that glitch is going to actually not be fixed for a year. So more time that we give these people to show the train wreck, the more time we have a chance of actually being able to prove that Obamacare needs to be completely abolished.
Well, I was talking to some lawyers earlier, Jedediah, who explained to me that when you have a law, unless you are altering its enforcement provisions or correcting it, that you could do on your own. But when it comes to changing the date or the implementation of various features of that law, you can't do that without getting Congress's approval.
Well, you can potentially get sued. I mean, you can try to do whatever you want. You can have, Republicans come out and say you absolutely can't decide that you're going to. This is his law. He can't just come out and say, well, you know what, this passed Congress, but I'm going to decide to enforce the parts that I like that maybe will help me in the midterm
but what if he's hearing from folks who tell him, look, it's not doable, we can't do this.
But that's not the law that was passed. So you don't get to decide. Absolutely. I want to repeal it. I want to defund it, actually.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think that the president, by executive fiat, can decide what he does and doesn't like.
What do you make of that argument?
First of all, sure he can, because remember those Bush executive signing statements that you guys all did? No, but it's true. Yes, and here we go with amnesia that nothing that ever happened.
Did he ever delay implementation or change the role in things?
Yes, he just said there's certain laws that I'm going to just ignore because in my signing statement.
All right, leaving aside, I know you feel about Bush and all that. Do you find that this is wrong, what he's doing?
I find that the Republicans of Obama right now said that he's going to just abolish Obamacare. The Republicans would say he's trying to get rid of people not having pre-existing conditions covered. He's trying to, these guys are so fundamentally opposed reflexively to everything that Barack Obama does that even now when he's delaying a lot,
you will acknowledge that leaving aside their machinations, and everyone has political motives here, but do you think that it is against the law to change the implementation of a law?
I actually am not a lawyer, so I don't know that I'm.
Well, I talked to lawyers who were, and they said it is.
Okay, it may be, and I'm not certainly. I'm
not here to forgive a Democrat doing it, a Republican.
No, I'm not discounting it. What I am against, however, is the complete hypocrisy on behalf of the Republicans.
Oh, and Democrats show no hypocrisy.
Well,
Democrats show zero hypocrisy.
No, listen, everybody shows hypocrisy. Let's not be. I'm not trying to say that.
Not me. I'm perfect.
But they're making a separate set of rules for the business community than they are for individuals. I thought.
Well, they're going to change that for individuals. I think they're going to change that for individuals.
The ally of the little guy.
No. But the argument for it was to save the little guy. I don't know the gist of where this is going.
Republicans are now saying you have to delay the enforcement of the individual mandate if you're going to delay the enforcement of the mandate for businesses.
They will. And what happens then is the law begins to crack apart. And that's, Scottie, what I think Republicans are up to. I'm not judging this one way or the other, but I think it's a very clever ploy on their part to try to dismantle this using the law itself as the dismantling vehicle. What do you say?
Exactly as your point. And Cavuto, you said it immediately, saying this is a political move. What is the reality of the situation is the Democrats did not want the American people to feel the wrath and the truth of Obamacare before the 2014 elections. That's what this is all about. They knew that if people were actually going to get penalized like they're getting, and you're having folks, especially in the younger 20s,
then why would you risk still keeping the individual mandate in place? So you're taking as a given that they will punt on that one as well.
Listen, immediately when Obamacare was put into place, 1,200 companies were almost exempted immediately from it. Then those people, the majority of them, were unions, those people that had contributed to Obama, those cities that went overwhelmingly for Obama.
Well, let's step back then, ladies, if we can. I hear you, but I do think, and Julie, maybe you're going to with this, one way or the other, political views notwithstanding, this thing seems to be running out of gas because the funding for it isn't apparently there, either from the corporations, from low-wage workers who can't afford it, from the uninsured who now increasingly don't want it. to younger workers who aren't coming in to support it.
You're telling me the uninsured who have no health care right now would rather not have insurance?
2 out of 3 don't want into this.
Because
You've seen that, Paul.
Because they don't know anything about it. Because unfortunately, the Republicans have done a phenomenal job of demonizing a law that
But if
I
you
think is
all of a
good.
sudden had health care coverage coming your way, and you're thinking twice about whether it's worth it, or whatever the Republicans you say are demonizing it, and now you know low-wage workers who can't afford it, and now you know young people aren't paying in to
Well, first of
support
all,
it.
they have subsidies. They will get subsidies when this law goes
my
into
point
effect.
is the foundation for this is dissolving.
It's not dissolving. You guys wish it dissolved. You have
No,
not
I'm a
you,
business
but
guy.
Julie,
I'm a
here's-
business guy.
no.
Money in, money out.
No,
More money is going out. Not enough money's coming in.
Here's the problem. Much like, the Republicans were against Medicare and all these other programs in the 60s that are popular now, so it's very hard for them to dismantle. The bottom line is this. Look, this law is the law. The Republicans can vote to defund it. They can vote to repeal it. They can vote to whatever they want to do, but it's still going to be the law. So
But do you ever recognize a law, for whatever reason,
What
is
is the
falling
law?
apart? And then you just say, you could fix it, you could dress it up, but sometimes you can't put lipstick on a pig, and this thing's a pig.
Here's the
I don't
final
think it's
point,
a pig.
Julie.
Listen,
This is where you're wrong.
I don't think it's a pig.
Okay,
Julie,
Scottie,
Nancy
finish that
Pelosi,
point.
I do. Here's the thing, and she just sat there and said the Republicans are sitting there trying to don't know what's in the law. Nancy Pelosi herself
say
said
that.
pass
She
this
didn't say that. I
bill
didn't say that.
in order to find out what's in the law. She said it herself. So the hypocrisy is
By
actually
the way,
on the left.
I
They
think
don't know what they
Nancy
passed.
did read the law, knew very well what was in the law, and she wasn't going to say what she discovered in the law.
Plenty of Nancy
people in
Pelosi, my
Congress
friend.
didn't, though.
But what
Plenty of people-
are you saying here?
It's a disaster. It's falling apart. It should be defunded. The Republicans did not do a good job of talking about alternatives. If they had talked about pro-free market health care reform, then people would have been on board with that. The bottom line is people don't like it. The Obama administration is trying to amend it to make it so that people like it. And in the process, they are going to crumble the law. It cannot stand
But we do
as
have a
is.
history of fixing disastrous laws as they start. Medicare was a clumsy administrative start. They got their act together. It got
Every
very
day.
expensive. But my point is that we do have a history of fixing things that start off bumpy. Social Security, another one.
Every
Right?
day we wake up to a new component of this law that is crumbling. I have yet to see them come
I'm going to
out
put you
and
down
have
as a
it
maybe
fixed.
on this law.
I'm undecided. What can I say?
All right, where's this
Defund
going,
it,
Julie?
guys. Defund it.
It's going, unfortunately, in the way that none of my colleagues here want it to go, but it's going to be the law. They're going to work to improve it and tweak it, but
Okay.
it's going to be the law of the land. You can try to defund it. It's not going to happen.
Going to raise costs, decrease quality of care, and be an enormous disaster.
Now I'm not surprised why Rush Limbaugh hates you. I mean,
Yes, thanks to you. I know. Rush, stop trashing me, man.
All right.
Come on.
Thanks
That's a
for watching.
compliment to us.
There we go. You
Gracious.
never know. Fair and balanced, and I'm always having fun. We'll see you tomorrow night. Good night, everyone.